Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Aberdare Park Races podcast. A slightly different location today. We're in a van with Will Burchell. Will, how are we?
Good evening.
We managed to get you on. We've taken a while to get this done,
Eventually.
but it'll be good. It'll be good. And Jay, nice to have you back. How's the shoulder?
Yeah, it's healing. I got signed off last week. I do have an overlap, so I've got a mewling lump there now, but apparently they said it'll be right as rain. I can start lifting light weights.
Any pain? Or?
Nah, well,
So you're lifting like you're drinking.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm only allowed to lift half, so.
I mean, news from us at the moment though, we're going to motorcycle live this year, which we're really excited about. We're going up there with Oliver's Mount. Andy and the team have kindly invited us to be a part of that, and I think that's going to be great for us as an event to get our name out there and speak to like-minded people, and I think that's going to be really good for us. You can't make it, can you?
Yeah, unfortunately I'm away working, but making racing bucks like. But yeah, it's I've seen all the hoardings, the boards and stuff that you're going to put up in the stand, and it looks really good, really professional.
Yeah, and it's good to work with someone like Oliver's Mount and Scarborough. You know, they run a fantastic event. So
Well, Andy and Wendy always do a good job. don't they?
Exactly, yeah. And I think it makes perfect sense for us to work together going forward. So something really excited about. But, well, you've had a busy weekend. You've done a Pembrey with the North Gloucestershire round.
Prince of Pembrey round.
Prince of Pembrey. How was it?
Unexpected. Friday night we weren't riding. Saturday morning we were.
All right.
Yeah.
It was that late, was it?
Took the bike down for my lad to do his ACU licence. Watched him riding it round and can't be there and not ride, can we? Lucky enough to come away with the win.
Yeah,
Nice.
another battle with Chris as well.
Well, I didn't even know he was there. Last race of the weekend, he was in second and he's binned it going into turn one. And everybody, when I came in, they thought I'd knocked him off, but I didn't even know he was there.
Oh, so you was on you on that on the one with the wooden number plate?
He was on a mini twin, so I really need to pull my finger out. Paul Jinks told me I look crap. And it was constructive criticism, I will say. All weekend, just couldn't quite find what we needed to. So, Chris was on me yet again.
Oh, imagine getting beaten by a bike with a wooden number board, like.
Yeah, I seen the tyres he had on it. They must have still been the road tyres because he said it is a road bike that I wasn't sure would pass scrutineering, and they've said we can go, so we're going. I'm like, any changes? He said, nope, it is as bought, and we go racing.
It's a good way to end the season, mine, isn't it, to be fair? Having fun down there. Yeah. That's not how it works. But
Following up the park, I was waiting to see when he hit that bale, I thought we were gone.
well, we are definitely going to come to that battle, I think, this year, which was...
It was some of the battles, some of the best battles of the weekend.
I'm sure the straw I was chewing is still in
It
here.
was absolutely quality. But, so it was a good weekend at Pembrey, and like,
It was,
is that for the season now? Or like, are you got anything planned now?
Done, isn't it?
Yeah, is everything done?
Maybe we end up on a Euro or something.
Yeah.
And start ready for next year.
Yeah, and we'll
Other than that, it's going to be pit biking with Jay and Reese and whoever else is about.
yeah,
But sort of just keep riding as much as
prepare
can.
around for that. Yeah, and we'll obviously talk about sort of next year. One thing we always start with our new guests really is where did it all begin for you? Your love of racing, your love of bikes. Where did it all start?
Riding racehorses.
I'm ready.
Well, yeah, I don't know, where we are right now is outside Will's workshop in Ebbw Vale. SWE Racing, as you can see. Zoom in. So, Will's been my suspension guy for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've done my fastest ever laps around Aberdare because of this guy's expertise. Like, believe it or not, where we are, there's been some Grand National podium ponies.
Potential.
Yeah.
They've never actually been anywhere.
A Gold Cup winner,
No.
Gold Cup podium.
No.
Well, I thought-
no. Won a Welsh national.
Oh wow, you know,
Well, don't play it
still
down.
pretty good.
Yeah.
But a mate of mine came up there, right, and they found him collapsed in the yard down there, and apparently he'd stuffed 5 plastic horses up his bum. Well, when they rushed him into the hospital, I said, bloody hell, how's he doing? And they said, oh, he's all right, he's just stable.
Can we cut it?
My God.
Chop. But yeah,
That's when it was teeing up and wheel, but
yeah, but there's been a lot of,
I would laugh. I'm too shy.
there's been a lot of positivity in this place, and a lot of
grew up with racing with a different kind of horsepower.
Yeah. I was going to say that.
But as you can see, I am definitely too fat to be a jockey.
Yeah. So, how did that sort of come about? And
Grew up.
yeah, tell us about it.
If it wasn't dark, you'd see the mountain that we live on. Always had a mountain bike, always messed about on 2 wheels. When we were here working with the horses, dinner time, out on the bike, always late back to work in the afternoon because you'd just be riding round. As soon as I was old enough to have something on the road, I'd end up running out of fuel, not making it back for afternoon yard work. Always wanted to ride bikes, just loved 2 wheels. Kind of had a falling out with Dad, went away, different kind of work in. Growing up on a farm, knew how to drive machines, went away doing that. Passed my bike test when I was 17, 6 months after my car. Man gun of the Moors is 5 minutes up the road, playing knee down with
So,
SB650.
yeah.
some
GPZ
amazing roads over this side.
Crashing a GPZ 305 on the Moors trying to get my knee down, and it just didn't work. Got on an SV when I done my first track day when I was 18 with Phil Bevan track days down at Pembrey.
Yeah.
And I've never really got much quicker. I'm still slow now. I was talking to my daughter. My daughter came with me Friday night on the way down, trying to work out how many times we've been there. We actually think, but it's nearly 24 years. One, I'm old, and 2, we've been going there a very long time. Pembrey's just home. We spend so much time there now. We are lucky enough to work there with Phil Bevan, doing suspension support. I spend 6 months a year down there. I love the place.
Yeah, I was gutted I couldn't go down this weekend, especially when I saw the weather as well, and I was like,
We had better weather at the end of October than what we've had after summer.
Yeah, you could have timed there better, could you? But what was racing something you really wanted to do from day one? As soon as you were riding bikes, was it like?
I got a standout memory of sitting in the kitchen in the farmhouse, Colin Edwards World Superbikes, winning that on the VTR. And it just stands out. I'm wanting to emulate that or try and do that. And the next one would be watching Nuts riding on the park.
Yeah.
My wife has stood by there mouthing fanboy because I was a fanboy before I was lucky enough to be his friend, and I still see it as lucky. You don't get it because you're in with it all, but it's like but Jason, what's happening?
To be fair, I mean, like we'll chat about like your first sort of memories of the park, but I think there's an utmost respect, especially from me, to anyone who races around there anyway. To be fair, and especially if you're as competitive as it was back then with some of the big names, and you were getting wins there as well. Fair play to you. Like, there's a lot of respect there, isn't it? But what was the sort of first memories of the park then? Was it as a spectator?
My brother taking me.
Yeah.
My brother taking me, Locker on the black horse bikes. That's my standout.
Yeah.
The way he talks about all the people that was there, I've got one, and it is Ian Locker. A black horse 125, 250, 600. Oh my God.
Yep.
Another guy then, Brian Spooner, RS 250.
Yeah, he always had lovely 250s, Brian.
Well, he's been unlucky enough to have had a trip and bumped his head. He's in a rehabilitation hospital.
Oh, yeah,
He's not very well, no.
Sad to you.
But I messaged him before going to the Manx because there's just people in your past that. So it was a friend of mine, Steve Davis, took me over and he was friends with Brian. And we went in the pits and looked around the bike. I must have been 10.
Yeah.
And you just remember these little bits. And I messaged him because I believe Brian when I'd done the Manx, asking advice. And it's how freely they give it.
He won a few Manxes, didn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, a couple of
I'm not one for the history of it all.
Juniors and
I like what I like, and I don't do a lot of reading about history of it. I remember what I know and what it.
You'd rather a colouring book, wouldn't it?
I'd rather eat crayons. He's like an encyclopedia for it, isn't he?
We could have an Aberdare Park branded one for you.
This has been a running joke with me and Scott Larkin, a Manx newcomer this year. How many crayons we had today?
Yeah.
Pair of Mongos and calling him. But we've giggled all the way leading up to it. Something that got you so nervous.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing about racing. If you've got to enjoy it, like.
Yeah, but
absolutely.
We've had some laugh.
It's all about making It's like everyone goes on, oh, you're spending this, you're spending that. Yeah, but you know,
It's a good laugh.
look
though,
at the
isn't it? Look at it.
stories
They say
you're going to
you
tell.
can't take it with you. I haven't had it to do what I'm doing.
I'm a memories over money guy. Like, do you know what I mean? I'll plough thousands of pounds into this sport just
I don't think you're the only one.
just so we can all sit round and have a
I
good
talk
chat.
about how fast we were.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I haven't even been that fast.
Well, what's the Toby Keith song? I ain't as good as I once was.
Yeah.
But was Aberdare Park your first sort of race meeting you went to as a fan, or did you go to anything beforehand? Or
First race meeting would have been a motocross event up
Yeah.
on Mall.
was off road kind of in your thoughts, or was it
I was rubbish.
you didn't were feeling it?
Thing is, the size of you, you'd think you'd be like a David Knight kind of.
I flipped the KX 250 up the mountain and I crumbled T12 in my back. So if I do an hour in the dirt, I need a
You
week
feeling
down.
it? Yeah, you're feeling it.
hurts.
Like yeah.
And it does hurt. So I am a puff and I don't like the pain, and the road racing's a little bit more comfortable.
Was it when you went to Aberdare Park and you saw road racing, and you mentioned watching, World Superbikes at Colin Edwards, did you feel as though you wanted to go down the road racing route initially, or short circuit, or
Isle of Man.
Isle of Man?
I wanted to go road racing.
Yeah,
Isle of Man, you watch Joey, you watch all the little documentaries, all the little scenes you see. Yeah, so, and then you think about the road riding you done growing up,
yeah.
and you come home Sundays and everybody's got a comment.
Well, see,
It irritates me when people say they won't have a road bike because they're going to die.
Mm.
They're too afraid to go and try it.
yeah,
But when you actually come home and think about the riding you've done,
you're like,
some of that was like,
Did I just
that
do
was
that?
course, like.
Yeah.
And things I've done with Sarah on the back of me, it's like, yeah.
but this is the thing about us lot around here. We are more roads men than we are short circuit men. I feel.
Where we live, I love the rain.
Yeah, as well.
I love riding in the rain.
Yeah.
I truly love
Well,
the
I've had some of my greatest races in the rain, like
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But I feel around here with the roads we've got and the valley's hardness, then
There's an edge, isn't there?
yeah. We've got that grit rather than
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
the city slickers. Then
Yeah.
city slickers are track days, short circuit sort of people.
I've brought a bike up the hill to the farm using the curb because there was no snow on it.
Mm.
The face of the curb, I could get the tyre against the side of it to try and get me up the hill because I'd been out down to Swansea, come home and there was snow up there. I was going to bike on the snow. Oh my God. Use the edge of the carry on. Jacket's frozen solid.
Oh, it's crazy. But so you're at Aberdare Park. You're obviously going probably around annually. Then really, you come
Every year for us off.
same as myself. Like yeah.
Yeah.
And I might have told you before that I was lucky enough to do Lucker's pitboard when I was a kid. Like, 'cause we're pretty much the same age, and that was cool. It's so welcoming to like sort of.
I bet
It was like, oh,
But
what
that's
are
the
you doing?
feeling I get getting to work with him now.
Yeah.
Or with Glenn when we get a motocross bike and Glenn Phillips in it.
Yeah.
But it's hard for people to understand. I've been lucky enough to work TT the last couple of years. That sense of pride working for somebody that's doing it.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
I went to the Southern 100 last year and I plucked the courage up to go and ask Ian Locker to come and do some laps for me in the van to show me around. He sat in the passenger seat, perking through the lap, and that's all I could think of. See Ian Locker in my van.
yeah. No, not
Yeah,
Is it good?
Ian Locker in
Is
my
it-
van.
Well, I'm guessing he didn't test you. Is it so? What first corner, left or right? Oh shit!
But his markers were spot on.
He put his hand up in the rider's briefing. He said, yeah, excuse me. He said, first time here, Will Burchell. Which way's the first corner? Go on, what's the lap record?
Just keep turning left.
And the rest will sort itself out just fine.
Yeah, just turn left.
But he's such a humble guy, Ian Lacker. He's such a lovely guy.
I gave help at the Manx this year as well. So his boys were on Mike Duss. I was lucky enough to have tyres off Steve Smith and Mike Duss.
And he's still flying around there as well, isn't he?
Oh my God, he can ride a bike.
And he's not getting any younger, is he?
Watch
And
him at
he's,
Scarborough as well, lot.
yeah, he's got record wins there as well. Unbelievable.
I've got I was looking through an old pile of books in my house this week, funny enough, and there's one of him on the TAS Gixxer in 2001 coming into the Craig, and you're just like,
Class.
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Class.
What an era that was.
Yeah.
So good. So, getting into racing, how did that sort of come about initially? Because
When I done my licence, just wanted to go racing. I had a GSX R600 on the road, crashed it on the road, put it back together and took it racing
again.
and crashed it racing, and then kind of walked away for probably 10 years.
So where were you racing initially, like your first sort of
Brands.
few seasons?
Pembrey, wrote it off, young, dumb and stupid. We were full of anything because we'd already had a kid, I think.
Was that any sort of championship then, or was it
We
sort of
lost
just...
Gloucester.
Yeah, no Gloucester.
You turn up thinking you can ride because you've done a couple of track days, don't you? And you realise you really can't.
Mm.
Then you go away and learn and do a lot of track days.
Yeah, there's not many people that just go straight from a track day straight to the front of
And I hadn't
any
done
club
track.
race.
That was a bit of a wake-up call then, I suppose, wasn't
Oh,
it?
it's shocking.
Yeah.
Josh Day come past me at Brands. My God, I thought I'd broken down. Yeah, man. I remember Josh on an R6. He passed me so fast, and you just like, my God, I need to learn so much. You just go away and learn, don't you? But
Yeah.
life takes over.
Yeah, so how long were you racing for then before you sort of,
Not long
before you stopped?
6 months, if that.
It really was that
really
short, was it?
wasn't that long. That crashed the bike.
Yeah.
No money to get it going. Everybody's same complaint, no money.
Yeah, yeah. And why did you sort of stop then when you were
Like,
kids, when he's...
just
Yeah.
went down a different path.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky enough to have 3 kids.
Yeah.
So everything we are doing now, I'm fully supported by my wife and 3 kids.
Yeah.
Me and my 10-year-old daughter went to Pembrey Friday, and me and her had a night in the lorry.
Yeah.
Chilling, enjoying. She's just as happy to come racing. I have an 18-year-old and a 15-year-old boy.
Then they spat at you as well, didn't they?
looked
So-
after
Well,
the
cheap,
bikes.
cheap or free labour is hard to come by.
Yeah, I mean, you got to earn their keep, haven't they? Something.
They
So, yeah.
And they're interested. And the
Yeah.
oldest just doing his licence. He's really interested now, so he can go and ride himself.
And Sarah's been incredibly supportive. She is in the room, Sarah. Incredibly supportive.
I'm very lucky. Very, very lucky. I have a paddy now and again when things looking a bit rough. And she just reminds you to count the money that you've blown away. And you're like, yeah, fair point, okay. But again, no grief for it.
Yeah.
I did think I was getting divorced Friday night when I put the entries in at Pembrey, though. She was not happy, I can't say that much.
I wish we could mic Sarah up at this point, because there's a lot of nodding going on here. So I don't know how to call this. So
For once, I'm glad she's silent.
yes.
You wait till you step outside.
Slap.
No, those 5 horses.
Yeah, but we've been together. We've been
I've
together
got
27
999
years.
speed dial already. You're ready to go.
How did that go? 999 phone J. That's for J. Something about losing weight and little ride 400 faster.
So Aberdare was really your first venture into road racing then.
Definitely.
Like obviously done a few Tom Van Eyes, which is not really a road race, it's a short circuit, but
It's a rough piece of tarmac
Yes.
in a field with some curves
yeah,
left in
yeah,
it. But the heart of that place
yeah,
is brilliant.
yeah.
And you're working everywhere you've gone before the park, you're working to get that national licence to ride the park. And that is what we were working for.
Yeah.
You running around on a pig there,
Yeah.
a CB500.
Yeah.
That's all I was doing, was trying to get to be able to ride with these and have that experience of riding the park.
Yeah.
And then to actually have turned up there and have help off Jay, Mark Goodings, Ryan Dixon, the input that people are willing to give, Potchy,
Yeah.
they're all welcoming. And you were nobody. And they will all give you good, sound advice because they don't want to see you in a tree, red flag in a race, stopping their fun.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, that's the reality of it.
Well,
Nobody
yeah,
wants to see
you know,
when you've done track walks.
We want everyone up to speed, and we want everyone
to enjoy the place.
You know,
Yeah.
we want you all to come
Really
away
awesome.
from it, fit and healthy,
Yeah.
and I'll definitely be back next year. And look at this in your second year, like.
The excitement turning up is quickly disappeared when you're doing that track walk looking at the trees.
Yeah.
And I was unlucky enough last year when that mini twin was sliding down around that left-hander. I was looking at the tree wondering where I was going to land when it high-sided me. And I fell off the side of it when it corrected itself. So I never had to go anywhere, but I couldn't catch the bike to stop it. Bloody thing.
Well,
So I was unlucky enough to crash twice my first time there in very similar, within 30 yards of each other.
So it's always the
Two
left,
very
right?
stupid crashes.
Always the left, right?
Yeah, we brushed on that before, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's a tricky one. But so the gap from when you stopped to when you started back up, how long was that?
Would have been 11 years, wouldn't it? If not a little longer.
What was the? You obviously got the itch to get back into it, and you know how.
You'd always wanted a race,
Yeah,
but it's timing. It's getting everything to where you can just go and have a go.
yeah,
It's how things, you're only ever where you're meant to be. And that's how things worked out.
Yeah, the universe.
Because I'd started my business playing with my own bike while doing track days. Got in with Jay and Glenn, and you start to learn more. You start to build a different environment for yourself. And you mentioned the universe, but the world opens up to where you want to be.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
you get invited in by the people that will teach you. From there on, you get dragged into that world, and then you become part of that world, and it just flourishes from there.
Yeah. So first sort of races back, were you?
It was North Gloucester.
It
So
was back in
you
the
were
North-
starting, 10 years out, you're starting all over again.
Yeah,
like.
but it was a novice intermediate because you've got a road race a road license. So you've got to get your 20 races under your belt to go and be a national rider. So that's 2 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
It probably took us 3, didn't it?
Yeah.
Couple of rounds here and there over a 3-year period.
What were you riding when you first started?
K1 just a thou.
Yeah.
Yeah. Old Shire horse.
Still got her.
Still got it. Yeah.
So and this was all to sort of build up to Aberdare initially,
No.
or was it so the Manx? Yeah, but we'll definitely get to the Manx.
park
but-
is your first part
is your-
of one
first
20
goal,
minutes across the road.
Yeah.
You're spending time there. I worked with yourself, and I worked with Glenn the first time there on Ross's Mini Twin.
Yeah.
Then it was you on a 675. We pulled out the stable 2 weeks before the event. You were second the day we thought.
Yep.
So that was because I took it to Donington to see that the bike was right. What we worked it out, £58 a lap. The money we spent to go there, and he boiled over in 4 laps. Bagger. So we had to get it on. Switched it off on the line, couldn't start it, could be. I'd never seen him so upset.
Yeah.
All
There's actually video footage of that, him
all-
crying in front of the bus.
All because of a bloody
Squirrel on the track.
Marty Robbins.
Killing the squirrel.
No, well, they didn't kill it. Maiming a squirrel. You know, I don't condone animal.
No,
I don't condone
it's not funny
animal
either, I get
cruelty,
it.
but
But
I wish he'd killed it outright.
Yeah.
And moved it offline.
yeah,
Unfortunately, it was online and it was suffering, and they had to stop the race. So we had to turn the bike off on the line, and she just wouldn't start again.
Absolute killer.
Yep.
In more ways than one.
so we'd done 3 years there in the paddock while building my own signature book before being able to ride there. So you've spent time watching, learning, trying to gain as much.
Best way to do it. You don't want to rush.
Well,
into
you
it.
were on Rob Beeman's Canterbury Pro BMW, weren't you?
then, yeah. We
Yeah,
had a couple of good runs with North Gloucester, the podiums.
We were third in the championship.
At the point of crashing at Donington Park and busting my wrist and ending up with another 6 months out, so that put paid to everything. I don't want to say 8 pins in a plate because the wife's going to laugh in the background. That's all I get ribbed for. They reckon I grizzle about it. They say it more than me. It's just how things play you off.
Yeah, exactly.
Come back at Castle Coombe, 11 to 22 on the grid, installed it. Please don't kill me. I couldn't make myself any bigger waving my arms trying to get them boys behind me to see me. Fries the brain, doesn't it? You have a big one, it takes a long time to get the head
Yep.
right. So
Yeah, I can imagine. Just
Some
come
people
back
can
and go.
forget about it.
Yeah.
And some people never
I
forget about it.
did my collarbone when I was a kid. I won't go back on. That's just because the way it affected me. I nearly killed myself, but that's just my mentality. Was like, it's probably not for me. Although saying that, there was about 3 weeks later when my mum was in the cast. My cousin and my cousin's friend had a little PW50. He was like, "Have a go." Yeah, all right, have a go. 100 yards down the road, smoke, everything. I think it was the gods telling me like, "This ain't for you, mate.
Yeah.
Just watch it." So like, but I totally get it. Like where you're coming from on that one. It was
yeah.
like this, like the tire's gone, and I literally got down the road like there's nothing. It's fair play to you guys for doing it. Like, but so Aberdare was your first time at Aberdare was 2023.
Last year.
last year.
Last year.
Because
Absolutely hammered down with rain.
oh, I don't. And we, I think I came along with you guys.
Mildly moist.
Yes,
It was
It
on top of puddles.
So, yeah, kept the dust down, no?
Really did.
It was like a hurricane, wasn't it, on the Saturday? And I think I came along with you guys to the track walk as well. I think me and Chris came along with it, and
Yeah, that's the
yeah, and I could see because it was your first time, but yeah, you did walk a few laps with it. I could see you were a bit nervous. I sensed that. Is that true? Did you feel a bit like?
Did you see those them trees?
Yeah, they are quite large. yeah. I could sense you like, oh,
This year I
shit.
realised how big the toilet block was and I nearly got it wrong and ended up to the door. Oh yeah, nervous.
Yeah.
You're walking it listening to Jay. I think it was me, you, Marty Robbins and Tony Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah.
And we went and done another one or two, didn't we?
Yeah.
You're walking it, camber is that. And they emphasise the fact of don't get over the edge of it because it'll drag you off. And you go out and do your first warm-up lap or practice lap, right? Oh my life, you get out in the wrong place, you're off and you're
Yeah, how was that? Like that first few laps, you thought, right,
buzzing.
yeah.
Buzzing, absolutely buzzing, even more so for the fact of running up to the back of him, looking over his shoulder, shaking his head and disappearing because he didn't think it would be me here behind him.
Yeah, I was like, I can hear an R6 revving away. Like, let's have a look at this. Is this good ins or something like that? What the fuck is he doing there?
And he was gone.
Fuck's sake. I better pull my finger up.
He caught the ladder and put it in between me and him so fast I didn't know which way he went. Didn't have a clue.
I thought I was going fast when I could hear you buzzing around me at the door. Maybe good ins. Oh, no, it's Will. And he's never been here before. What the fuck am I
Put your
playing
finger out,
at?
Jay. Get on.
Jesus Christ.
But you're on the R6 and a twin.
The RWEC R6 and Mini Twin.
Yeah.
Big Ross Williams is.
Yeah, I met Ross as well.
Yeah.
Hi Ross.
We'll have to get him
Undoubtedly.
on. We gotta get him on.
Oh, we gotta get him on. Yeah.
Him and a bottle.
Him and a bottle of rum.
Or maybe that can be a Christmas special. A slot and him and a bottle of rum.
I was out with him. I was out with him every weekend actually back at Aberdare, and yeah, he hasn't changed. He's. I've actually seen him physically eat a £10 note.
He was telling a story.
Just because.
Funny enough, I was with the Florence Black Boys Saturday, right? And we were driving back yesterday from Margate, and we were talking about my old man's wake. And he was there in the wake, Big Ross, telling the story about how his missus was pissed off at him because he was out on the piss or whatever, and he'd come home, and he said, fuck it, I decided to stay out, and swallowed his house keys. So
Yeah, I've heard that one. I've heard that
I
one.
heard that as well.
Yeah, so he couldn't get in.
The thing, like, he's a big lad, Ross. You know, I don't drink rounds of him because I'm not a very big lad.
No.
I did that once.
On and gone.
It was a horrendous decision. But yeah, we'll definitely get him on. So yeah, Ross, I'll message you later. But your first year, like on the Saturday when it was hammering down, you mentioned you love the wet. Got some good results there. Like, how did you feel like after the first day, thinking, "Oh, this is
We had a
all right."
heat win. Finished 5th in the Welsh Open. I won my heat and then finished 5th in the Welsh Open final on the 600.
Yeah,
And I won my heat and finished 4th in the Sound of Thunder, or the Super Twins.
yeah,
So over the moon with that.
I can imagine.
To
Yeah,
be 5th in that Welsh Open final behind these lot, amazing. And Ryan Dixon was just in front of me.
yeah.
Another 2 laps, I was working into Ryan, but he'd had a bit of a bad year leading up to Park.
Yeah.
I think he was. Yeah,
yeah,
he was
yeah,
carrying it. Yeah,
His
So-
scare fight.
And taking nothing away from the fact that he is outstanding. I was on the back of Ryan Dixon,
yeah,
riding
yeah.
around Aberdare Park, and I've seen how good he can be there, or how good he is there. He is
Yeah.
mad, isn't he?
For your first day there, that's pretty good going.
I was over the moon.
Yeah.
Tried to carry it on into Sunday.
Yeah, I was going to ask
Then
about
you
that.
learn what a drying ride is on a very green track.
I remember coming round to you on the Saturday, congratulating you, and just be like, right, reset. Tomorrow's a different day.
I was talking to Pochi on the Saturday evening, and he's laughing at me. He said, "Just don't crash tomorrow." Come up to me on the Sunday. He said, "See, I knew you would. Do you know why? Because I've done it." Oh, Poch. Yeah.
Well, do you think that was a little bit of overconfidence, or?
No, it was anger. We were late. The R6 was on the warm-up lap.
Right.
Come down through the left, following Jay, tipped into the right, and it was gone.
Yeah.
I was on his wheel in exactly the same line, out of there. It just gone. I thought we were in the lake. I thought we were in the lake.
It comes up quick, doesn't it?
We were on the bank.
Those ducks soon move, like.
They were back here. And the super twin, the mini twin in the super twin class, I got mugged off the line. Everybody's got a bit of confidence in the drive, haven't they? I got mugged off the line because we were at the very, very back, and it was a mini twin. She was a bog standard SB, wasn't she? And there's a lad riding round on a Kramer that was punching up the straight and holding me up in the corner. And on Saturday in the wet, I'd made a load of moves down the left and into the right.
Yeah.
So I went for the same move. Dry line must have been 6 inches wide. As soon as you was off it, there was nothing.
Yeah.
And we've got it on video. You could just hear it screeching, sliding around this left. I went for the move. If you went making moves, you went racing.
Yeah.
I might not make many and not race a lot, but I was having a go at this point.
Yeah.
He was just irritating me. I should have bit my tongue and just waited and done it somewhere else. But the crash came. Not overconfidence, just racing.
I mean, you weren't the only one that went off there specifically that year on the Sunday, because I think it was quite a few.
4 or 5.
Yeah, there was a few.
Tony Griffiths had it there.
Yeah. I think when Sean...
I was going to say Sean Wynn had one there.
It just... And a lot of experience like
as well. Just run offline a little bit and turn.
Yeah,
it didn't bin it, but how quickly it's green.
Yeah.
It's because it's the tree cover as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, so...
But how much grip there was in the wet, you'd never think it'd go and do that as it's drying.
Yeah.
It's just slime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, first year then, I mean, apart from the sort of Sunday incidents, I mean, from a learning point of view, and you must have been well chuffed of it.
Amazing. Yeah. Me and Ross was messaging from probably 3 months after. I don't win at the park, man. Still don't win at the park, man.
Yeah.
First time there. Yeah.
No, yeah, you can't fault that at all.
Absolutely buzzing.
And then obviously this year now, even better.
A little bit. Just a little bit. We didn't take the 600 and we didn't take the Super Twin because it was so close to the Manx. So I was very, very lucky. A friend of mine, Tony Davis, and Cliff Robbins from Ebbw Vale, they allowed me to ride their ZXR 400. They'd let me ride it at the pre-TT, and we were on for a podium behind Darrell Tweed. And it was probably getting a little bit hot the lap before I pulled it in. But the lap I pulled in, we were going down to Iron Gate and the temperature gauge never came back down. So I had to park it. But again, it came to rain. From 15th on the grid, I think we were 5th by the end of the first lap. 2nd in class, on for podium and a bit of prize money around the Southern 100 circuit.
Yeah.
And the head gasket right to let us down. It sprayed me with oil, tipped it in, I think it was Ballabeg, and it let go.
Yeah,
How far are we going with this?
It's not a place to mess around with, you know.
None of the road circuits are they? I've learned that with the Manx this year. You've got to give it respect.
Yeah.
And
So with Aberdare sort of last year, sort of big tick off the box, you're done. That was for the big goal then to get onto the Manx.
yes.
Yeah, that was the goal. I mean, how did that all sort of come about?
And it's what you aspire to do when you either coming into racing to purely go short circuit racing, or you're coming in to build up to the park, Oliver's Mount, the Manx.
Yeah.
That's the only road circuits we've got, and you can go and use Tom Valley.
Yeah.
Because there is a curb left in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But the Manx is the main aim, isn't it? And in a short space of time, we've been lucky enough to be accepted to go and have a go.
Yeah, that's...
We went and done the Southern last year. It was a non-event due to the accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy Smart was involved in this year. To see how he came back this year at the
Yeah, unbelievable.
What a rider.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It says a lot about the teams that surround people, because Robbie Sylvester offered me a lot of help. Robbie's been a good rider around.
Rob's been it all the way through, like, do you know what I mean? So
The advice he gave, and it's freely given. They're not looking for anything from you.
But again, this is the difference between short circuits and the roads. You know,
Paddock is a different place.
Yeah.
everyone wants you to come home at the end of the day, and you know,
Where I was going with that, you can see where Andy's confidence comes from because of the team that's around him.
Yeah.
He's supported by such good people.
It makes a huge
They've
difference.
changed that bike. They've made everything about it different to accommodate him and the injury that he's unlucky enough to have sustained. Look how he's making it work.
Yeah, and he was superb.
Well, round the park, right down shift as well.
Probably.
It's probably the right thing to do.
So with the Manx in mind, you got accepted in how long before you actually went out there? Did you get accepted in, or you know where you were going to be?
I asked you look at the boss for this, but she ordered it.
Because it's a fair few months, isn't it? You know well in
October.
advance.
Entries went in October. We was accepted January, roughly, and then we were there February for the first newcomers weekend.
Yeah. So how did you find learning that track? I mean, I know that people use onboards. They even play the game sometimes. What was
I found
your thing?
An onboard by Jim Barnett, and I probably watched that video 500 times. I'd have it on in the workshop in front of my bench.
Yeah.
And just go through it. And his commentary on it, I even sent him a message saying how good that video was. And the times that we went over to the island, we'd play it in the car going up to Heysham. We'd play Jim on the dash in the car.
Yeah.
And you're just listening. And when we were driving around the island, even Sarah would know where we were.
Yeah.
She's done as many laps around it as me, but driven and on boards.
You'll be doing your ACU next now.
Not happening. Is it?
Fastest woman on the Manx.
She can't afford to ride two. I can't afford for the this one as well. If she's doing it.
Well, we'll come to the family dynamic of road racing in a bit, and like a new one coming through as well. But the rest of the newcomers, were they more with onboards as well? Did they have a different way, a different technique of learning?
I've spoken to quite a few, got friendly with quite a few. I think we all had our own way of learning it.
Yeah.
Everybody takes information in differently.
Yeah.
I was very lucky that a customer loaned me a jigsaw to take over. And the Friday before anything happened on the Sunday, I'd done 9 laps. Well, when that national speed limit sign flashes in your visor, over the mountain, you're gone.
Yeah.
And me and Tony Davis brought his MT10 with him. We were just playing on the mountain. For as many laps as we could get in. So from Ramsey Apin to the Craig, I had a fairly good understanding of what pace felt like over there.
Yeah.
And back on the 600 and the twin, it made it relatively sedate.
Yeah.
But the rest of it took some understanding. Because places change lap to lap.
Yeah.
Because you think you're somewhere, you're not.
Yeah.
Oh, yikes. I'm not where I thought I was.
Yeah, like I love watching onboards.
That's why you should always have a sticker on the tank. Oh, I'm there now.
Yeah, reading the map. But Dennis Booth gave me a tow Saturday morning warm up. And it just flowed. Once you get behind someone and get that little bit of a tow, I followed an American lad, Richard. I can't remember his name. I think it's 8-1 Racing. I followed him off the start line. And this was the Sunday evening, sadly, before Louis O'Regan passed away. And I'd had this tow off him, and he was flying. He'd been there previously. It was his first time on a 600. I was on the R6. I just sat with him, and there was places where you're like, oh my God, this is fast. And it was the first day of the event, following him, just a little roll at the end of Cronk the Body. It's come off the end of Cronk the Body on the back wheel, shaking his head, settled, followed him down into the Ebbw, crossed to the top of Big Arrow. I'm like, I could go past him by here. There was places where he was really strong. I'm like, well, I know where I am by here. I think I could do him. Like down through the 13th, I could have done him. And then Paul Jordan came past us just after Ginger Hall, Kerramore, jumped past the wall. Like a slight climb up going into Glen Charman, but it's really rough. And slight crest, launched the bike. And as I've gone over it, he's jumped past me. And the thing's sideways, full sideways. Like, they're just different breed, and like,
Yeah, completely different.
I'm going through there praying, he's going through there flying. They're just very, very distant.
Yeah, you were willing it on, and he's forcing it on. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a completely different mentality then, isn't it? So you're at the Manx, you're at the start line, you've been waiting for this pretty much your whole life. What was it like when you had that tap in the shoulder and you were going down Braille for the first time. What is that like? I can tell by the grin, but
everybody's asked, I've had the same response. I don't have the words to explain it truly.
Yeah.
There's a lady that runs Park Ferme, Sue Hunt, and she's the physio for North Gloucester. So I've built a rapport with Sue over the last couple of years, and she lets you up to the start line to be tapped away for practice. And I rode up to her, and inside my helmet I just screamed, yeehaw. And that's the only thing I can think of. But when you had that tap on the shoulder to go away, the nerves hit. When I came through for my first flying lap on the twin, I had tears in my eyes at the top of Braille. And it was that realisation of, we are actually doing this.
Yeah, you are. You've achieved the dream, like.
Even on the twin, I don't know if it was, we are doing this, or, oh my God, that's fast. St. Ninians is massive when you sat at the traffic lights on red.
Yeah.
Even on a twin flying down to it, you're like, how'd you go through that?
Yeah, you're still, you're still threading the needle, like, yeah.
It's, but I am seeing Sarah upset. And I didn't understand that part until Friday just gone. Watching my lad roll out the pit lane, Sarah's adamant I was worried about the bike. Watching my lad roll out the pit lane, for that very first time, I felt the emotion that she must have had watching from the side.
Yeah.
She cried when I came in as well, mine, but I'm not quite the same.
You were able to sort of try and shut off emotion for that period of time when you're doing laps.
Yeah, it was gone.
You have to, really, on you. But
once you got that initial... I cost myself a race to start of this year at Pembrey, riding a 748 for Luigi. My dad had passed away. And I was leading the national race at the Classic Club meeting. And I was crying in my helmet. And it cost me the race. I was leading this race with established lads at the Classic Club. Alex Sinclair's behind me on a 748R. And I just said to myself, come on, Dad, we got this. Done.
Yeah.
So it's been an emotional year.
Yeah.
Your dad passed away. We see now how that affected you at the park.
Yeah.
It's emotional.
Oh, yeah.
They say it's a club only people who've lost a parent understand.
But also, he's riding with me and he's riding with you.
But I've got over the emotional part.
But yeah, that's what you need to block.
I watched the old man be a very, very successful racehorse trainer. He was very good in his own terms.
Yeah.
And my brother was a fantastic jockey.
Yeah.
So you're not trying to better them. You just want to go and do your own thing.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But it does get you. And you get me, but I know it does get you.
Yeah.
To achieve them dreams.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. When you're back in the van and you've just done laps around the mountain course, I mean, you're saying Sarah's in tears and stuff, like, because the amount of work and the amount of effort has gone into that. Like, was it at one point you had to kind of just take a deep breath and think about that, like, and
went and hid, just went and hid and had a little cry on my own.
Yeah,
and I did go and shed a tear on my own because it's overwhelming.
I can imagine,
and it's truly overwhelming. And there's loads of people. The weather was horrendous. We couldn't have been in a worse place in the paddock. We basically lived in a bog for 11 days. And everything got to you.
But it's still the dream as well, isn't it? Even with all that. Yeah,
even when
it tells me the mud is a rite of passage.
Even when our son is worst, you're still there living the dream.
And
you've got to take things.
Much help and support from some very, very good people. We have got a family around us, friends that have become family, that are fully supportive. And you drop me messages every day, steady away, keep your head, advice. Alex Sinclair, him and Ian. Alex has been there 11 years. And what they could give, being able to work with Alex last year, finishing the Manx, every time he set off, I had Sarah's emotion last year because I worked that bike. And the fear of him going away, and you triple check everything, but you were still, have I missed something?
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's always going to be in the back.
Yeah, and I can imagine.
Going, and as soon as you let that clutch out, you'd listen to him all the way to the top of Braille.
I think anyone who's worked on a bike.
You had to run out the park through me. I'd probably smoked 10 fags in the time it took him to come around.
Yeah.
But it had you.
Yeah. No, I think anyone who's worked on a bike or goes on a track like that it feels exactly the same way.
So at the Southern last year, it was me, Big Ross, my 17-year-old at the time, and my 14-year-old Liam and Alex. Alex looked after the BMW. Liam looked after the 600. They never missed a beat. But the event was cut short, so they never had to span them an awful lot.
Yeah.
And these boys have been round it. Alex has come with me since he was
Well,
7.
I sent Liam a message. No, I sent Alex a message, sorry.
Yeah.
Just before you were setting off for practice. I think it was the night before, just saying, listen now, that's your old man going out there. It's time to stop messing around. Like, well, yeah, it's all good. We have a laugh and joke and we have a pint afterwards. But now is the time to put your big boy
And they
clips on.
did.
And fair play to him, like.
So we had Tony Davis, Cliff Robbins, Alex, Liam, Sarah. You couldn't have asked for a better atmosphere in camp. It was identical to Aberdare Park this year.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit selfish on my part. Tony and Cliff have been around a long time racing. Tony's a bloody good rider. One, I'm lucky to be allowed to ride his bike. Two, I'm lucky to have him in my corner. But they're fantastic mechanics as well. And they agreed to come and look after the bikes for us because I couldn't put the Manx on Alex and Liam.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes.
And that was
Makes
one
sense.
thing we agreed on beforehand. Tony was the boss.
Well, they're apprentices, isn't they?
Yeah,
You know,
they're still learning, you know, they're still,
it's
you
still
know,
kids.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
We done a 600 engine on a Saturday morning warm-up. We were all there. They've had a brilliant time pulling engines out. We're in muck up to our knees, not even ankles, it was up to our knees. The new engine went in dirtier than the other one came out. We had it on 3 tyres trying to keep it out the muck, and it was that deep. But it was fun.
Yeah.
We were in down the rain. Sarah was holding the awning down at 4 o'clock in the morning in a very small pair of pyjama shorts, and I think the fireman was quite happy stood there talking to her as she stood there stretched up.
Can't do anything.
It was
I can't do
horrendous. She couldn't, no, not even to hide her dignity.
Brilliant. But, you know, I bet the boys absolutely loved that, though. Go to the Manx and doing...
Well, Alex has come to TT and Manx for me for the last couple of years. He's always had a greater interest in the bikes than Liam. It's probably the last 2 years Liam has really started to find the interest.
Yeah.
But as a family, we've kind of always done things together, haven't we? I'm very, very lucky for the support.
That's a huge support network for you, and that's exactly what you need when you're tackling the Manx. Favourite corner at the Manx? I know it's a ridiculously hard question, but what is the one corner that you think, oh, that is absolutely mint? I mean, you've got a few under the pick from.
Do you know what I can't wait to go back and try and get better? Hilbury.
I love that place.
Just after Brandish, down that right under there. Sean Turley, SRA Limited, sponsored me on the Super Twin this year, and him and Dean Alexander were sat in the grandstand at Hilbury, and they got a video, and I showed it to Rhys Harris. He was like, "Want to pick the throttle up, you puff." He's like, "Apex is there, you ain't revving it until there, you want to get on with this?" I can't wait to go back and try and get on that gas a little bit earlier, because he then showed me a video of where he is at the second in front of me, picking the gas up on an R1. He's like, "See, that's how it should be done."
I went there for the Superbike race a couple of years ago. First time I ever went, I said to Kelvin Durbin, I went out with him and his lad and my dad, I said, I want to go to Hilbury, I think. I said, I want to go somewhere where I'm this close to a Superbike going about 180, 190. It's like, oh, yeah, let's go there. And I think it even shocked Kelvin. He's been there loads of time.
Yeah.
I even shocked him, I think. How unbelievable.
Come out to the Craig, see all the people sat on the bike and think, oh, should I just get as close as I can?
Yeah.
His feet going underneath the clutch lever.
Yeah.
It's insane, isn't it?
You're looking at trainers underneath the clutch lever, and you're like, your trainer's like, they're underneath the clutch lever.
How far did you venture to the wall of Hilbury, like that, or because close to the wall, as you're like,
I thought I was very close on the video. It looked like 20 feet away. But spatial awareness kind of goes out the window because you have got your eyes closed, so you don't know where you are.
And I got to say, like, when I was there, I've got the video to show it as well. The free of that year, 2023, I mean, was Hickman, Dunlop, and Harrison. It may as well have been like, you know, shaving my eyebrows. the rest of are still unbelievably quick and still very, very close. But then,
that's
different,
fun.
unbelievable that place.
I was out on the Super Twin, and Jim Hine come past me on the Norton, going into quarry. There couldn't have been a fag paper between us. And I didn't think I'd done anything wrong. He was just that fast through. It gave me a hell of a tow through quarry because it woke you up. But it was only a wake up after I'd settled down from the jump. You could hear it coming, but you didn't expect it to be that fast going past you.
Yeah.
I was on the R6 and Dan Ingham came past on the 660.
I bet that Norton something great.
Oh my God, something different. But to watch them, watch Jim at Scarborough this year, and they are good riders.
Yeah.
They are very, very good riders. But to watch them doing what they're doing on that road, we're still learning. I'd love to be able, 2 laps on the 600, second lap was 107. I don't feel I gave either bike an honest ride. The Super Twin race was red flagged due to accident.
Well, over 100 mile an hour is very respectable.
First lap on the 600 was 106 mile an hour, second was 107. And I never got another one.
You know, you were going the right way with him. So
with the weather conditions out there, because we were all sort of keeping an eye on it back here, and you know, we were hearing this has been delayed, contingency plan after contingency plan. It must have been an absolute nightmare for the organisers, but
got to feel sorry for them.
You can't. Yeah, it's just such a difficult
they
job.
were fighting a losing battle. Weren't they?
Yeah,
I'm talking from a newcomer's point of view. The time and effort Milky, Carolyn Sells, Johnny Barton, the travelling marshals were giving their time. We were Dave Madsen Migdal, what a man to do some juggling laps with. He's crazy. He is clean off it. He is crazy. But the time and effort they put in as volunteers, experienced riders, racers, marshals, Johnny Barton's assistant clerk of the course. These are high up people at the event, giving us every little bit of knowledge that they can to make sure we turn up there ready for it.
And it's safe for you as well,
is it for them when that event doesn't go? And there is an awful lot of... There's been a lot of messages after this event about how people are trying to do it in or get rid of it. They're spoiling it with the way it's being run. No, if you see what calendar they put out for next year, they're doing everything to keep it alive and make it a good event.
I agree with you. And you read all the stuff on social media, which can be a ridiculous place sometimes, and you do get that sentiment of like, oh, they're trying to get rid of it, they're trying to cause it to become a problem. I don't think that's the case at all.
That's also the park sentiment, though.
Yeah.
You know, we are doing this. We give up our free time to do this. You know, we don't.
Well, and Motorcycle Live, it's everything about raising.
Exactly.
Raising the profile and making sure we get the best riders we can, and keeping everyone safe, and putting on a great festival.
Yeah, because you've got to look at how busy that park was this year. The time and effort gone into raising the profile.
Well, it's not just us, you know.
Everybody involved.
There's the Orange Army. There's Derek's crew.
Everybody involved.
There's everything.
We all want the same thing. At the end of the day, we all want the park to be bigger.
Got to be the biggest crowd at that park for the last 3 years. Was 24.
Yeah, and I like I said,
since COVID.
Yeah, like we said last time, and I was pretty chuffed to see how busy it was this year. I got sort of the vibe back from what it was when we first started going, I suppose. There's always a lot of work to do, you know, and which is why we're still doing this, why we're doing Motorcycle Live. But yeah, it was really, really fun this year, and I really enjoyed. And you going on to this year, you had a lot of fun with Chris Northover in the lightweights.
Yeah.
First, I think it was actually the first race of the weekend. I think the lightweight one. It might have been the...
Well, it's the first race shown on King of the Road.
Yeah. But I think there was it might have been another heat or something.
My greatest bit is about King of the Roads. I win a race and he don't.
Oh,
Wow, I never.
never hit a child.
You know what? I don't even clock that.
I've been a bridesmaid all year, haven't I? Terrible, like. Terrible.
I win a race and
Yeah,
he don't.
that's
This is the
unbelievable.
last time I had a win. I won a class up in Scarborough at the beginning of the
Scratch
year.
God, near the shop.
I'm not even, I've not even been that fucking lucky. So last year, I won
you
at the
won a
park.
yeah,
I
you
won
won,
the park last year, didn't I?
You won the Sound of Thunder, didn't you?
Yeah.
On the
Yeah.
park, John. Yeah.
Yeah, on Paul Jinks.
I know that, but I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
you know that.
Was it on Paul Jinks' Super Twin or was it on Katie winning something?
No, I was on Katie there, something.
Yeah.
I won the 600 on Paul's.
Yeah.
The 675. Yeah.
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
trick
Yeah.
bits bikes.
Yeah, in the rain basically.
Yeah.
From the year. But yeah, that race of Chris, how was it? 'Cause they looked brilliant to watch. It was probably my favourite race of the weekend, especially when you look back at the highlights as well. And it was
So my favourite race of the weekend, battling Chris, was the last, which isn't shown on TV. Purely because it was the longest race. Halfway through, he was half the length of the straight away. And we finished the last race 0.1. If they'd had another lap, I'd have done him.
Yeah.
I didn't give up. But this terrible thing, when you feel beaten, switch off, ride round. The first race, I was so relaxed following him and literally just sat on his wheel, chilled, laughing. He looked a little bit ragged, and I said this to him when we came in, you wanted that so badly, you were on the limit, but it was just movement, and you're watching it and you're like, oh, I'm not getting anywhere near that because he's going to bin this now.
Yeah.
And we were coming around the back of the boathouse, and he hit the hay bale. I've said to everybody, Tom Cruise film Days of Thunder, he comes through that cloud and everything's in front of him, carnage. Well, I just, cloud of straw, come up in my, I'm chewing straw, but as it cleared, his back wheel is in my face. How the hell he saved it, I do not know, but it settled. He ran out onto the damp that was left and nearly ice-sided himself. Well, in the commentary, it says that Burchell looks phased by what's gone on there, and Mikey's gone for a move on the outside. Phased. I was still wiping dust out my eyes.
What's going on?
It knocked everything about the rhythm that we'd built.
Yeah.
We were in a fantastic rhythm.
Yeah, but Chris done that on purpose.
Well, I think...
That was his plan.
That was his plan.
Yeah.
I don't know. But a bail there now. Well, hopefully the squirrel.
I remember watching it on the King of the Roads, and I even said, because we were watching it on the big screen in the Whitcomb, fucking hell, Will, fucking chill out, will you? And then I spoke to you a couple of days after, and you said, no, that was
Chris.
That was Chris.
He caught it with the mushroom on the side of the bike, and it just turned the bail under his back wheel. So you see that unfolding, and then it just exploded. But it literally exploded. Because when you look at the footage, there is straw.
Yeah. Well, Matthew Reese is just behind you guys. He couldn't quite catch up with you both, but he said to me in the paddock after, he said, "Oh, they're gonna get some good footage from my bike, hopefully, because he saw it all unfold."
Yeah.
But
It was unfortunate that Mikey's 400 wasn't playing ball, because
he
the three of you, I don't think his fitness was quite there after his Northwest bang, but it would have been nice for him to get amongst it as well, because I would have proper thrown that amongst
that would have been
Like Tony Griffiths off, I'm a big lad, and Chris Northover's half my size. Tony Griffiths is probably half Chris Northover's size.
yeah.
In that relation, I am a fat lad.
Yeah.
Off the line, they just mugged me. And Tony was so intense off the line. You're like, this is going to be some battle. He just didn't seem to be able to go with it. And he said to me afterwards, he's like, Jesus, you've been pushing hard for that. And I genuinely wasn't.
You're just in a rhythm, man.
That's all I had in
It
my
just
head
clicked,
was
didn't it?
Manx.
Yeah.
I didn't turn up there that weekend to do anything stupid, because everything we were working for was 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And the second race on the Saturday, Chris, there was 3 shows on the TV coming up the side of a red bike. it doesn't show just how tight he had made the line I had picked.
Yeah.
And I'm 13 seconds behind Chris at the finish because I came in shaking. He split 2 of the 3, which pushed this lad over, and I've gone into turn 1 on the front wheel, foot down the side of the 400, looking at the toilet block. But the lad that Chris is upset has come across the track. So not only am I looking at the toilet block, I'm now looking at this lad riding at the bale. So I got to get around the one I've messed up and around the one Chris has messed up. I just shut off. I just switched off.
Yeah.
And like we spoke earlier about how long it takes you to get over something. The first race on the Sunday had me the same. But it was the last race of the weekend, come back to life.
Yeah.
Just needed to get back in and...
That's the learning curve as well, isn't it? You know, it's
The
all
joys of racing sometimes.
Yeah,
Like
that first race.
Sometimes
quality.
sometimes you got to know when you're going to win, and sometimes you know when you're going to finish second. Like, and
We
that's
had to win.
experience as well.
I've been there for 2 years. I've only won heat races the first year, but I've stood on a podium and I've this.
Yeah.
No, no.
Look at him there now.
Yeah,
It's not about that, is
Two
it?
from 2 now.
Yeah, the top one, Jay,
Yeah.
is you got a third one, you got a second
Is
one.
it?
And it's just
We've still got another step to
Well,
find.
Well, no, I was always told first the worst, second the best.
We'll take the baby gate off you next year.
There's always next year. There's always next year. But I suppose if you want any hints or tips, you know, Will can...
Yeah, I'll pop over
Happy
Will, yeah.
days.
Yeah.
It's only because of Jay's teaching I got it.
No, it was great to see, and like you and Chris were buzzing from that first race as well. I was just like, I was
couple
saying,
of times since the park, and we've probably built a little bit of a friendship.
Yeah.
We were at the Free Tech Endurance meeting, and he come past me on a CB 125. I thought you were going to put me in the grass. So I returned the favour when I called him back. Later to find out he had a 1-cylinder bike running on half a cylinder, and that was why I could catch it. Yeah.
Well, what I have to show you actually is his overtake at Fruxton, wasn't there? I mentioned it.
Oh,
when we
yeah,
were
that
right
one.
there, the
Yeah.
3-year-old.
When we
outside.
finished, but I got some commentary from Sunday that Tony Davis's wife recorded, and it's me and Northover for the first
Again,
2 laps.
yeah.
It's like we stuck together,
Yeah.
but the friendship that's built from that,
Yeah, and he's such a sub bloke as well, Chris.
brilliant.
But you get that in racing. Like when I was coming up through the club ranks, that week in week out, it'd always be like 4 or 5 boys, 4 or 5 of the same boys that you'd race, and you'd always see them.
Yeah. No, it's always a good laugh at, isn't it? You know? But
What are we, Chris? Overeating, are we?
Yeah, first time that's happened.
Fair enough.
Talking your ear off, boy.
Will's taught, that's what it is.
we have this effect when we sit on the sofa.
It's a sundown we get it is.
Yeah, Mrs. will think I've been in Turkey. I've only been in Ebbw Vale.
Everyone's out on the mountain over there. They think it's those two moons we got at the minute.
Yeah, we're not used to all this. But next year, what is the plan?
Roads predominantly.
A lot of roads.
Yeah, I'm very lucky that we're able to keep the Super Twin that we've got. So back to the Manx if we can get an entry.
Yeah.
The Manx is predominantly the plan again.
You can't see that being a problem, or surely?
I would hope not. I think we turned up, done everything safely.
Yeah.
We increased our lap speed every lap, but I never made stupid big jumps every time.
They
we
would
were
have
out.
called you up on that, wouldn't they? If that was the case, wouldn't they?
No, because there was newcomers there doing 115.
Yeah.
So there was boys really, really fast from the off,
Hmm.
and then there was us that wasn't. But we were all learn at different levels.
Yeah,
we were all different abilities turning up. We're lucky to be there. I'd like to think we get another opportunity. Can't believe we still got to wait. What is it? 9 months to get back there.
Yeah.
I heard the boys talk about the blues. Didn't understand it. I do now. I really do now. Manx, I'd love to go and do the Northwest. Armoy, Cookstown and Tandragee looks like it might come back.
If Cookstown and Tandragee are on, then
We got it. Hopefully they run him in.
I'm gonna be going over with whoever I'm riding for Cookstown and Tandragee. If just Cookstown's on, I'm probably not gonna bother because it's so much money just to go and do one.
Yeah. Armoy, I would really like that. I watched.
Armoy is worth every single penny. Like
Watching.
Yeah, I'm really keen to go. Really keen to go. Yeah.
Addictive.
just everything about it. You know, the crack, the car and the bike show, the atmosphere down in the village.
That's the bit that got me up. You sending the video of the cars going through the night before.
Yeah, down at Joey's bar as well, and a bit further up there.
And it was great. I took Paul Clayton, the team nicknamed him Ball Bag. He'd never been to Northern Ireland, and he'd never seen real road race. He's seen the park.
Yeah.
Loved the park, been to the park all his life. But he'd never been to a real road race. He must have walked 50 miles that weekend, just all the way around the circuit. So that is, it's
that's on my list to do. That. What are you looking to ride next year? What are you riding?
The Canopy Pro BMW at the Northwest and Armoy. RWEC 600 at Oliver's Mount. And the Super Twin at Oliver's Mount with the 600. I'd like to take the Super Twin 600 and the Thou to the Northwest. 600 and Twin at the Manx.
Busy year then.
Touchwood.
And 600 and 400 again in the park?
I don't know. It's where the park falls in relation to the Manx.
Yeah.
What are we taking to the Manx?
Yeah, unfortunately, we're still up in the air with the dates at the moment for the for the park.
Just put these out so we know when we're going. I know I can count off day by day how long I got to wait.
Yeah, I know.
There's possibly a classic superbike in the mix if I can get an entry for that.
Nice.
Well,
you got a bit of time there as well.
But that's Ross again. He started a bit of a conversation trail with somebody, and
I think he did mention that to me before.
Might just come.
I'm not sure what he was looking at. 750.
Well, he's got a 750.
This is not Ross.
But this
is the conversation.
Okay.
Started with somebody else that might just come with bone chickens before they hatch.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Might generally end up in KFC.
But
I know I've seen you chicken strips.
Thanks for having us, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure coming up here.
Thank you.
Absolute class, bitch. We told you we'd get you on.
Yeah.
And it's not that bad, is it? It's not that
Not at all.
painful. Not at all.
Not at all.
And we got Housewife Secrets coming up next.
Yeah.
Time for the buffet.
And the next episode. I can't wait.
She's even licking her lips.
It's probably time we cut that.
I'm turned into a frown.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.
Ta-ra.